Hello, folks. How you doing? It's Rich Guz coming live from Bristol, Connecticut, and we got some snow and some sleet going on right now. Listen, everybody. I just want to say thank you for everyone that's kind of like supporting me and listening to what I have to say, making comments. And it's not about how many subscribers I get, guys. I really don't care about that. All I care about is it seems like the ones that are subscribed to my channel are in tune with everything. Okay, they're awake. They feel exactly the same as me, and that's the thing. Okay, this is a place where I and all of you could come here and just talk and try to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to just walk up to anyone, start talking about this stuff. They'll think you're a kook or a conspiracy theorist or you're anti-government or you're just plain weird. But a lot of people are waking up, and that's really good. And the one thing I really wanted to talk about tonight, and James D on a phone call from San Fran, California today, he was telling me, we were talking about how we all have this feeling. And for me, honestly, and it's personal, about 7 years ago, um, what had happened was I went to a bar with a friend of mine. We were at my house having a party, and he received a phone call from a girl that he knew that was freaked out by this blind date she was with. I didn't find all this out till later. Bottom line is the kid came back and started threatening this girl, and I ended up getting into a fight. And I beat the crap out of the kid. I really did. But I got stabbed 5 times, and my buddy got stabbed 5 times. We were all over the news, and you know, and then I saw how the media worked firsthand, and they tried making it seem like I was the bad guy. In the video, you can clearly see as soon as I went to go punch the dude after he threatened me, after I tried stopping him from arguing with this girl and disrespecting the girl, he'd already stabbed me in the gut. But anyways, I got stabbed 5 times. I made that phone call home, and ended up getting a hold of my daughter because my wife was already in bed, and told my daughter I'm sorry, I loved her, and I thought I was going to die. Okay, I thought it was my last conversation. I awoke to the hospital, and my wife was crying above me, along with my daughter and my son, and the rest is history. But from that day forward, I changed. I had a unique experience, and it was like I had this empty spot in my brain that just wanted to get filled with all this stuff that mattered, like religion, history, stuff in space. I started looking into Planet X. I started looking into, everything. Then I started listening to Alex Jones, and then I learned how Alex Jones was really, going on the way of the bad side. He wasn't what he used to be, And then I found Pete Santilli. But what I'm trying to get to you about is I had this weird feeling inside that something big was going to happen too. That was the thing that drove me nuts to finding out what was going on. I just had this overwhelming urge to tell people, wake up, open your eyes. I just wanted people to understand things because I understand things a lot clearer than most people, and so do all of you. That's the weird thing. You know what I'm talking about. We all have that feeling, and we don't know what it is. We can't explain it, but then we start researching stuff, and we see the government, we see the overreach, we learn our Constitution. All these things start ringing a bell in our head. But you're not alone out there, okay? And I want you to know that. I want you to know that I sub just about every one of you. I try, anyways. I do work full time. And I come home to my family, my wife, my daughter, my son's getting deployed again, and that's the other urge too. I feel a sense of panic that something bad's going to happen, and I'll be disconnected from my son and never able to see him again. I battle with that in my head almost every night, man. I started having panic attacks over it and everything. So, I understand you guys, and I'm proud of all of us. All right, because you're all coming back to listen to what I say, and that means a lot to me. I consider you guys friends, man. I really do. I can't, I don't have, all my friends are dead. I've lost too many people for a guy my age turning 50 here. I've lost both of my best friends. They're dead. I lost a little girl that was like a daughter to me to leukemia. You know, I ran around in a motorcycle club. I was always that guy, but I wasn't the guy picking on people. I was always the guy that went after the bully. You know what I'm saying? I was always the guy that pounded the bully. And I see some big dude in a bar picking on this little nerdy type, and I'd walk over and deck the dude. I mean, that's the kind of stuff I used to get into when I was growing up, being immature and everything else. I'm so surprised my wife stuck with me, man, and I'm blessed. But we're all here because we have that one thing in common, our feelings. And the comment box is, I guess, right there. Let's talk, man. Let's talk about it. James D put up this awesome article that you can link to. It's about something with the Pope, about President Obama being exiled from our country. It's about all the politicians in Congress, the Senate, the Supreme Justice. It sounds like, and from what it sounds like, it sounds pretty legit. Like something's happening behind the scenes. People like us, that only in higher power, are trying to get rid of all the criminals that are the cabal. Okay, and let's not forget that. That's the name of it. The NWO, the cabal. That's what it all is. There's like 6 rich families that have influenced many of our politicians and people in power. And it's time that we get our country back, people. Maybe this feeling we're having, maybe it's a good feeling, and we're going to be part of the awakening. It's our job to awaken people and to help them get through this, because it's a lot to swallow, man. I mean, honestly, my daughter's scared shitless hearing this stuff, and my wife too. It's like, it frightens them. But you can't be frightened, people. You have to stand up. And the women out there that are all as I am, man, I wish my wife was like that, because I'll tell you, you are some brave women and some awesome patriots, man. And I'm not saying my wife is awake too, but she's just scared. She's scared to see what happens, and so am I. But I think that if we face this head on, all of us together, we can help each other out and get through this. I just got a funny feeling that we're going to prevail. The truth always wins. Good always beats evil. Remember that, okay? Anyways, again, from Bristol, Connecticut, more snow, more crap. It's been a long day in the truck, guys, so I'm pretty beat. Anyways, I love you all, man. You guys have a good night.